We are Champions League. I said we are Champions League. Pretty much anyway. Hey everyone, it's MrFlyingPigHD here. Hope you're having a good Monday. It's Monday morning. Just thought I'd cover the major footballing headlines up and down the country in the national newspapers and give you my opinion on them. Just kick it off with the Daily Mirror, who are saying that Manchester City want to make Paul Pogba the best paid midfielder in the world. They've guaranteed the Juventus star £250,000 a week after tax to try to steal off interest from Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United and Chelsea. That adds up to about £13 million a year, or around £20 million a year before deductions. What? Absolutely ridiculous, but he is one of the hottest properties in world football at the moment. Young, powerful, creative, goal-scoring midfielder, box-to-box. I'd certainly like to see him back at United, but maybe not for the sort of money that you'd have to spend on him, which is being touted as about 60 or 70 million pounds plus those sorts of wages. I don't think Manchester United would benefit from going out there and spending that sort of chunk of change on that particular one player. That's what I think about it. I think Manchester City probably will win the race for it because they've got rich oligarch in charge who basically uses monopoly money to buy players. So yeah, that could happen. If it does happen, it'd be interesting for us to have Pogba back in the Premier League challenging against us. But there we go. Next story is City, about Manchester City again. Sorry about this, lads, but these are the headlines. City are pushing hard to try to convince Bayern Munich boss Pep Guardiola, who worked with Etihad bosses Tsitsi Bergstein and Ferenc Soriano to make the move. Well, I don't know why he'd want to go to Manchester City, maybe to just test himself in the Premier League, but Bayern Munich, much better, much bigger club than Manchester City, let's be honest now. But would I like to see Pep Guardiola in the Premier League? Yeah, I would like to see him in the Premier League, but not if he's going to do well. So, I don't know about that one. That's probably bullshit, isn't it? That's probably absolute bullshit. Next story, Roma have now joined Crystal Palace and West Ham in showing interest in Liverpool right-back Glenn Johnson. Are they mad? They're absolutely mad. He's cash. No, fair enough. On to the next story. The Daily Express we're on to now. Manchester United are interested in Danny Ings while they could return to PSV to secure Memphis Depay's teammate Jorginho Wijnaldum to strengthen midfield options. Now, this is a player who's been linked with Manchester United for quite a while. That's Wijnaldum, He's a player who I always used to buy on Football Manager back in like 2008. He was supposed to be one of the best freaking players in the game in a few years. Never happened. Never happened. He's like Connor Wickham in that sense. But we can't go on Football Manager. Does look like a decent player. Compatriot of Memphis Depay and LVG. So it could happen, but I mean, I don't necessarily see that one being true. Danny Ings, on the other hand, I'd take Danny Ings at the club just as a backup striker, but I don't really think that we need him. I would just want to see us get Chicharito back. Let's get Chicharito back, eh? That might make more sense, but Danny Ings, I'd have him at the club. But, David Moyes wanted to take Danny Ings at Real Sociedad, so you've got to ask some questions about this particular signing. But in all seriousness, no, I'd have him at the club. Let me know what you think about that. Danny Ings, do you think he's Manchester United quality? If Manchester United don't sign him, there will be a host of clubs around Europe, I'm sure, that probably would take him because he is a good prospect, good young talent, and a good goal scorer, no doubt about it. But is he good enough for Manchester United? I don't know. Is it worth a gamble for a low transfer fee? Probably. Next story is Steven Gerrard believes Liverpool need to strengthen and they could be in competition with Chelsea for Real Madrid reserve Jesse, who has struggled to nail down a first-team slot. I really rate Jesse from the little that I have seen of him. But calm down, Stevie G. Liverpool in contention with Chelsea and Real Madrid for signing players? No, don't make me laugh. Next story is the Daily Star. Liverpool are reportedly closing in on a double deal for Danny Ings and James Milner. Why would Danny Ings and James Milner want to go to Liverpool? That's what I want to know. We've got Champions League football, man. No, fair enough. I'm sure Danny Ings would be up for it. Be a step up in terms of stature of the club, absolutely. James Milner, on the other hand, okay, his contract might be up in the summer, but I don't see him wanting to leave City. I don't really understand why City would want him to go either. If you watch him play in a Manchester City shirt, he always gives it 110%. Against us, I thought he was very good this season. I haven't watched too much of City other than the games against us, but I thought James Milner, he is a good player. He is a good player, man. He's not spectacular, but he just does exactly what it says on the tin. He's like Ron Seal in that respect. But, calm down, Liverpool. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But stranger things would have happened. We shall see. The Daily Star is also reporting that Paul Pogba could become the highest paid midfielder in the world, with Manchester City preparing a record £70 million bid for the former Manchester United player. Wow. And it's looking like these clubs are seriously interested. It's being mentioned in all the papers up and down the land that Manchester City are in for Paul Pogba. They're one of the only few teams in the world who could afford to pay that sort of amount. So I think it's a realistic prospect. What do you think about Paul Pogba going to play for Manchester City? Do you care? Would you be massively disappointed if Man United didn't try and go in for the signature this summer? Let me know below. On to the Daily Mail now. Manchester City are ready to make Paul Pogba the highest paid player in the history this summer. Okay, we've covered that, but yeah, most of the papers go with that news story today. The next story, Gareth Bale is becoming increasingly isolated in the Real Madrid dressing room because of his failure to gain a complete command of the Spanish language. I mean, what does he need to know? What's the Spanish for sheep? You know? Unbelievable. Anyway, Ashley Young's form deserves a recall to Roy Hodgson's squad, according to Manchester United teammate Chris Smalling. Fair play to you, Chris. I totally agree with you. I've always thought England are very short down that left-hand side anyway. I think at the moment, in this particular moment in time, Ashley Young's about as good a player as we've got on that left mid. So I'd definitely recall him to the squad and definitely start him in the next game. On to the Daily Telegraph now, which says Tom Cleverley is preparing to open talks with Aston Villa about a permanent move to the club. He's actually had a bit of a resurgence of late. Scored a couple of goals in a couple of games, been playing pretty well. Fair play to you, Clevs. It's good to see, mate. Only want good things to happen to the lad. You know, Man United Academy player, come up through the ranks. Had a bright spell at the start of his career, then had absolute double daymares. Would I be disappointed to see Tom Cleverley sign for Aston Villa on a permanent deal? No, absolutely not. Get rid of the lad. Give us some money, Aston Villa, that we can put towards some decent players. That would be fantastic. But in all seriousness, though, fair play to you, Clebs. Real Madrid are willing to let Karim Benzema leave the Bernabeu while they can still command a fee of around £40 million for the French international. And Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester United are leading the chase. Now we're talking. This is the sort of player that I've always rated. I think he's a great finisher. It would be cool if we got a sort of Cantona to the club, wouldn't it? Another sort of French goal scorer like that. But I mean, I don't know about this one. It's a lot of money. If you're going to have to pay a lot of money for him because he's a big name player. He does score a lot of goals, of course. He's very elegant, skillful, good finisher. I'd definitely take him at Manchester United. This is the sort of player I'd love to see play in a Manchester United shirt. Do I think he's a right fit for the club? I'm not so sure about that, actually. I think he'd probably do a lot better at a club like Arsenal, in all seriousness. Liverpool in there. Don't make me laugh. Why would he go to Liverpool? That's just heinous. That's unbelievable. But they're the main stories in the footballing world at the moment in the national newspapers in the UK. The big one's obviously Pogba to City. Seems like that's gathering some steam. There's Danny Ings. There's a lot of it's up in the air about his future. Where's he going to go? Is he going to go to United? Is he going to go to Liverpool? Is he going to go to Sociedad? Who knows? And then, of course, you've got the stories of Giorgio Wijnaldum, which could potentially happen. But I mean, in reality, these are all bullshit. They just print whatever they want to print, really. Yeah, okay, this could happen. Yeah, that could happen. But it's just bullshit, isn't it? That's what I think about it. Anyway, let me know what you think about this whole particular video and the stories that I've covered in the video today. Danny Ings, Benzema. Who would you want out of those two players? And also, Paul Pogba. What's your stance on him? Would you have him back at United? Would you want United to go out there, spend £70 million on him, pay him 250 grand a year? Would you want that? Comment below. Until next time, this is MrFlyingPigHD saying thank you very much for watching. Apologies for not putting a Q&A Sunday video on the channel yesterday, as I did say that was going to happen. I was just way too busy yesterday and I just couldn't find the time to do it. It does take a good few hours to edit and that kind of thing. I couldn't do it, lads. But keep asking questions. I've saved all the questions that people did ask, so don't worry, it's not gone to waste. I'll use them next week. I'll do the Q&A Sunday gradually over the week or something like that and get it on Sunday next week. 100% guaranteed. You can mark my words. But thanks very much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about all the stories covered in the video today. Chuck a like on this video and subscribe to the MrFlyingPigHD YouTube channel if you're not subscribed. And until next time, have yourself a good one. Come on, United!